Good morning, Zero here, and today we're going to hit up the rumor mill for Rockstar. Um, Essentially, we're going to be, I don't know, slightly complaining. I'm not really sure. Point is, I'm almost out of coffee, and I don't have any more made, so we need to go ahead and make our way through this video, take care of things, because I'm not, I'm not fun to be around when I have no coffee. Yeah, that's a good word to use, right? Maybe? Anyway, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So yeah, let's take a look at the screen here. Rockstar's game employee accidentally leaks unannounced game. What could it be? What could it be? Do we know what it is? No, sadly we do not. I guess this is more of one of those kind of, I'm going to gripe a little bit because I hate this kind of crap. Because we're going to be bouncing between two articles here, right? You've got Rockstar game employee accidentally leaks unannounced game. Rockstar game employee leaks unannounced game. Now, this is why we're going to be griping a little bit about it, right? See, this one was done on September 29th, 2020, right? I thought I had read this article once before, which is more recent, January 29th, 2021, which was 2 days ago. Yeah, because the day's the 31st as I'm recording this. Yesterday was the 30th. Yeah, 2 days ago. This was done 2 days ago. Almost the identical title, too. Now, here's the difference. The only difference between these two articles is literally who leaked the game. This is one of these things that I'm just going to gripe about, right? I hate this kind of crap, right? The leak comes the way of Ian Gardner, and we're going to just read this verbatim on both of them, and that's it. So bear with me. I don't like to read the articles straight verbatim like this all the time, unless, it's something really important or whatnot, but just bear with me. The leak comes the way of Ian Gardner, a senior designer of Rockstar Games who spent nearly 10 years at the company, who recently updated their LinkedIn profile to remove the aforementioned leak. If you look at Gardner's LinkedIn profile right now, there's nothing of consequence, but before the edit, it listed the following: unannounced title TBC. That's it. That's it. Okay, so we'll go to this one real quick. The leak comes the way of Emil, whoever the hell that is, name-wise, a senior character artist at Rockstar Games. More specifically, it comes the way of so-and-so's ArtStation page, which until very recently made reference to his work on an unannounced project at Rockstar Games that has been working on since February 2020. That said, as soon as this observation became to make its round, so-and-so dropped the unannounced project from the page. Does that not sound similar to you? This is why we're griping about this, because I really hate these things. They're clickbaiting, is what it is, right? You're going to click on this expecting me to give you information on the brand new, whatever it is that was leaked, right? Which I'm giving you, right? The problem is, there is no information. That's the problem. So I'm going to gripe about it instead, because I saw this and was like, ooh, let's talk about this Tesla thing, this Tesla game station, which we'll do tomorrow, now that I just reminded myself about it, because I done forgot. But anyway, this Tesla game station, and then I was like, ooh, a Rockstar game that's leaked. Haven't I read this article before? And sure enough, I have. Anyway, so why am I griping about this? Because it's simple. Guys, guess what? There's a rumored, new in development Star Wars game. Right? It's not been talked about yet, but it's going to be a new. It's rumored. I saw it on somebody's page on their LinkedIn profile. They wrote gosh, who was it? The guy from Bethesda that I can't remember his name. I don't know. I saw it on his LinkedIn profile that they were working on Star Wars, and it said something about KOTOR or something like that. I can just make up random things like that and then never really show you anything, right? Um, let's see. This just goes into the February. Yeah, see, it doesn't really show you anything. Same thing over here. Just goes into Pokemon cards, PlayStation Plus free games. Okay, nothing really there to show you, right? And I can tell you something like that. And then when you go over here, this is, Ian Gardner's LinkedIn profile. Of course, there's nothing of note there anymore, right? Nothing at all. Yeah, it's got, the different things he's done and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So then I went, well, maybe it's been archived, right? Surely enough, the person who is breaking this news knew that was on there. That's why they're talking about it, right? They knew it was on there. They've seen it, or whoever it was who told them seen it and had enough sense to archive it. Whether it was web page archives or internet archive or whatever archive system they used, which, by the way, I checked several. It's not archived. But then when you go to look for it, there's nothing there. Because I wanted to bring it up to see what exactly it said. Nothing there. There is no archive at all for his LinkedIn profile ever that has ever been created. And then we've got the same thing over here, right? If we go actually look at his page, there's nothing of note there. It talks about Far Cry, The Division, Sims Free Play, all the way down to Spyro, one of the worst Spyro games ever made. Anyway, there's nothing of note here, right? And then you go to the Wayback Machine, and it's not on. It was not archived anywhere else. The 3 archived things that I used, this is the only one that brought results back. It was archived back in October. Of course, this article comes from August. Right? September. Which was, about a month prior when this article was written. And then it was, of course, archived in November, archived in October. Never archived beforehand. Surely whoever saw it on there had enough sense to screenshot it and archive it. If you're going to catch a leak like that on the interweb, it is a complete disservice for the rest of us gamers to not at least screenshot and archive it. At least if it was a screenshot, we can argue about whether or not the screenshot is faked, right? But if you archive it, then we know for a fact that it was a real thing that actually happened. And, if you actually go to the archive, nothing of note. It looks no different than it does right now, other than the fact that, some pictures don't load. Other than that, it looks exactly as it is right now. Nothing there. But the whole point is, if you sit there and say that Rockstar is working on a game, eventually the information will come forth that they are finally working on a game. And, of course, this article runs down the exact same path as the last one, or as the other one. It sits there and talks about how, well, it could be a Grand Theft Auto 6, or it could be, a remake or an addition to Bully 2, or a reboot of Manhunter, Red Dead Redemption 3. And, to be honest, if you're really going to make a prediction, you should probably look to see what Rockstar has done and what they normally, how they normally go, right? Because sometimes they follow a pattern. A lot of gaming studios do follow a pattern, and sometimes they break that pattern. At one point in time, it was very easy to practically predict when the next Pokemon game is going to launch. It still is a pretty good accurate thing that you can predict when the new Pokemon game is going to eventually launch. Although I think it got a little wonky with the change of systems to the Switch and some other stuff. But, with the mobile system, they were almost accurately predicting when the new title was going to be announced. And I think it wasn't until like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, before those were announced, that people weren't 100% sure when it was, because it was coming out of the normal prediction, or the normal pattern that Nintendo and who was it? Game Freak, Pokemon Company normally follow, right? So, normally you can kind of predict these things. We had a Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Before that, we had GTA 5, Correct. GTA 5 came first, then it was Red Dead Redemption. So far, Bully has been laid dormant. I guess Manhunt has also laid dormant. I don't really remember if there was another Manhunt or anything that has come out over the years that I just not paying attention. So, you know, chances are you can rule Red Dead Redemption 3 out unless it's being worked on side by side with something else, which is also a possibility. You know, if the team's gotten larger and all this other stuff and they can spread themselves out a little bit, you know, they could be working on 2 projects at once and actually release information for them both at about the same time. You know, you can see this with, say, Bethesda as well. They're pretty keen on keeping a thing. You know, you've got your Fallouts, you got your Skyrims, and they kept re-releasing things, and then we got a new Fallout game. Eventually, Fallout 76. Anyway, if you call that a game. Yeah, I think it actually is kind of playable nowadays, isn't it? Maybe I should actually finally check that out. No, it's still pretty hacked. Anyway, you know, so the announcement of, not Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6 was one of those inevitable things that was going to happen. And then sure enough, they announced, you know, Elder Scrolls 6. Didn't show anything, but, you know, it's in the works now, right? But yeah, it's pretty easy to kind of sort of somewhat predict it. You know, if you sit there and say, I saw it on somebody's page, it's unannounced, it's probably going to be GTA 6 because it's about time for a GTA 6. You know, within the next year or so, they're going to actually drop the information that GTA 6 is in the works. It's been in the works for several years right now. Here's what we got to show you. And, you know, be patient. It's coming. It's going to be a few years. And then people, you know, then the person like, say, the author of this article, which, by the way, is the same author of these articles, Tyler, who is it? Tyler Fisher, I guess is how you say that, Fisher. You know, he's the author of both of these articles, is going to be able to come out and say, I called it, guys. Look at this. I called it back in 2020. Or I called it at the beginning of 2021. Look at this. I called it. He didn't call it. He hasn't called jack shit. This is literally a clickbait article of trash. Hey, hate to say it. I mean, I got it. They want you to write something, but come on, at least make a decent prediction with it. Look at something and do some work with it, because what we got is a few paragraphs of practically the exact same thing. At 2 different months, 2 different years, still calling for the same thing, and the vague, well, it was on so-and-so's page, however, it's not there now, and nobody had the, you know, thought to archive the damn thing. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.